There is a pile in your home you have not seen in 3 weeks, not ignored, not seen. Your eyes glide right over it like it is part of the wall. You pass it 40 times a day and your brain reports back nothing. You will soon discover a 5-minute reset that switches your vision back on. The part nobody says out loud is, this, you are not lazy and you are not messy. You went blind. And it is not a flaw, it is a survival feature, the same ancient wiring that once kept your ancestors alive quietly, turned against you in your own kitchen. Ignore it and you will keep running the loop that keeps failing you the furious Saturday clean, the burnout by noon, the chaos fully regrown 2 weeks later, while you wonder what is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong. Your eyes just need recalibrating. Watch what happens the instant a friend texts, "I will swing by at 7." Suddenly you see it, all of it, the room snapping into focus like glasses sliding onto your face. That is not panic, that is clarity borrowed. You already own the superpower, you have just been renting it from dinner guests. Your brain erases whatever sits still. The coat stopped being a coat and became part of the chair. The override takes one-step photograph the room, then study the photo instead of the room. Objects you have not noticed in weeks jump off the screen. People are often stunned by pictures of a room they are standing in. Then walk through it like a stranger doorway, slow steps, unfamiliar eyes, and name 5 things aloud that you have stopped seeing. There is the returns bag. There is the lamp with the dead cord. 5 things named. Touch none of them. The skill you are building is not cleaning, it is sight. You snap the photo name, your 5, and feel the fog begin to lift. That is the whole trick, right? Not quite. The move that actually keeps a home together is this: tidy people are not more disciplined than you. They simply catch the first object before it becomes 10. Fog has no edges, it is everywhere at once, so you can never begin. Name the pieces and the fog collapses into a list. Lists end. That is the real difference between a home that stays livable and one that constantly feels out of control, not effort vision. So, tonight, 1 room, 1 photo, 5 things named hands in your pockets. You were never behind, you went blind. And what you cannot see has been running your home all along. Open your eyes, take it back. You think you're good with money. You clip the deals, grab the freebies, and carry the perfectly good bookshelf home from the curb, feeling like you just beat the system. That bookshelf cost you 9 years. You'll soon learn the 3 questions that reveal the hidden bill every object in your home has been charging you, and why free may be the most expensive word in the language. What's draining your resources without ever appearing on a statement? Every single thing you own is a tenant, and not one of them pays rent. They charge it, square footage, upkeep, dusting, stepping around them, and a slow tax on your attention every time your eyes land on them. The purchase price is often the cheapest that object will ever be. Picture a tiny meter attached to everything you own, ticking not in dollars but in attention. The spoon you use every day and the chair you love earn their keep. But the bread machine you used once? The cables for a phone you no longer own? The jeans that no longer fit? Their meters keep running while giving nothing back. They're open tabs you forgot you opened, and they rarely close themselves. The reason you can't feel the cost is simple. The reward, that little rush of getting a deal, arrives immediately. The cost arrives later, spread across years in pieces too small to notice. A little attention here, a few minutes there, you keep paying because the bill stays invisible. So bring it into the light, grab 10 objects and ask 3 questions. When did I last use this? Would I buy it again today at full price if it disappeared tonight? And what is it costing me to keep? That second question is a scalpel. It cuts straight through, but it was expensive because the money is already gone, and keeping the item won't bring it back. So you run your 10 objects and read the bills. Finished? Not quite. Around object 5, something shifts. The shelf stops looking like stuff and starts looking like a row of meters, some earning their keep, others quietly taking more than they give. That's the skill no organizer can sell you, knowing the difference between what belongs in your home and what's simply taking up space. So tonight, find one thing you'd never buy again and say it out loud: I wouldn't choose this today. Nothing in your home was ever truly free. You can finally see the prize. You sit down on your own couch and can't relax. 2 minutes later, you're up again, drifting from room to room, restless for reasons you can't quite name. You blame yourself. Maybe you're bad at unwinding. Maybe you're just not a calm person. You're wrong. The real culprit is sitting on the table across the room. You'll soon discover why clutter drains your energy without ever touching you, and the 5-bucket system that switches the drain off. That pile on the table is talking to you, not loudly enough to hear, but every time you pass it, it taps you on the shoulder. Deal with me, deal with me. You keep walking, the tap fades, and your brain quietly carries the weight all day. Multiply that by every surface and every overflowing drawer. You can spend an entire day resting inside a room that's quietly taking your energy. That basket of clean laundry isn't heavy. Folding it takes only a few minutes. So why can it wear you down for a week? Because it was never about the labour, it's about the decision. A pile isn't a mess. It's a stack of choices you haven't made. Each one is an open loop your brain refuses to close. Enough open loops and your mental battery drains while you swear you're doing nothing. Every time you say, "I'll deal with it later," it feels like a decision. It's actually the opposite. It's a choice not to choose, which leaves the loop running. Later is where decisions go to collect interest, and the interest is your peace of mind. So stop cleaning the pile and start deciding it. Here's the secret. Almost every object in any pile belongs in one of 5 categories. Trash, dishes, laundry, things that already have a home, things that don't. That's it. You're not solving 100 separate problems, you're sorting into 5 simple buckets, and sorting feels lighter because the decision framework already exists. So you sort one surface into 5 categories. Done. Victory. That's everything, right? Not quite. Sit down afterward and notice what actually changed. Not just the clean table. The silence, the open loops closed, the tapping stopped. And you can rest in a way you'd forgotten was possible, not because the room became perfect, but because it finally stopped asking you for things. Tonight, walk to the nearest pile, pick up one item and decide only that one. Trash, dishes, laundry, has a home or needs a home. Then follow the decision, one closed loop. That pile was never work, it was a debt. Start paying it down. You think you're lazy? You look at the dishes, the laundry on the chair, the counter you can't keep clear, and somewhere underneath you've decided it means something about you. That belief is a lie, and it's the single heaviest thing in your home, heavier than every pile combined. You'll soon see why feeling bad about the mess is often the reason the mess is still there. Try this on. The dishes in your sink are not a verdict on your worth. Care tasks, washing, folding, wiping, carry no moral weight. Left undone, they say nothing about whether you're good, worthy, or lovable. Many of us learned the opposite so early that we never thought to question it. Questioning it now is where everything begins to change, because shame doesn't fuel action. It's a brake. Picture the loudest version of that inner voice. What's wrong with you? Why can't you just do this? Does it launch you into action? Usually it does the opposite. It makes you avoid the room that triggers it. Avoidance grows the pile, and the bigger pile makes the voice louder. Shame can leave a perfectly capable person feeling stuck. So try the test that breaks the cycle. Imagine a friend you care about calls you, overwhelmed and embarrassed because her kitchen is a disaster. What would you say? You'd probably be kind. You'd remind her that she's carrying a lot and that this situation doesn't define her. Now, notice the voice you use on yourself and borrow your friend's voice instead. Not because it's softer, but because it's more effective. And set down another burden. You are not behind. There's no secret schedule everyone else is following, no backlog you must repay before you're allowed to start. Yesterday's dishes don't need to be cleared before today's count. You begin exactly where you are. So you forgive yourself and quiet the voice. It feels better, but does anything actually change? Yes. Pick one small space, one counter, one section of the sink, and make it functional, not perfect. Functional. Perfect is often the trap that keeps people frozen. Good enough is the standard that creates momentum because it's achievable today. So say it out loud. My home being messy doesn't make me a bad person. Then clear one counter, free from judgment. You were never lazy. You were carrying a verdict that was never true. Set it down. Then you've tried to clear that closet a dozen times. You pull out the jeans from a thinner year, and your hand just stops. You can't put them in the donate bag. So you create a small side pile with no name, and an hour later you're sitting on the floor surrounded by clothes while almost nothing is gone. The reason has very little to do with the clothes. You'll soon discover what those objects really represent, and the two-question test that helps you finally let go. The trap that catches even highly practical people is this. The things you struggle to release are rarely being kept for their usefulness. You stopped wearing those jeans years ago. Use was never the issue. You're keeping them for what they mean. The blazer holds a career milestone, and the sweater from your mum holds a memory of love. Over time, these objects stop feeling like objects and start feeling like containers. And when you believe the meaning is trapped inside, letting go feels impossible. Here's the key that unlocks all of it. The memory does not live in the object. The dress was present during the moment, but the joy, the faces, and the feeling remain with you. They don't disappear if the dress does. The sweater isn't where the love lives. The love arrived the day it was given. The sweater already fulfilled its purpose. Keeping it untouched for years often adds only guilt and clutter. Now comes the heaviest layer. Much of our clutter belongs to people we used to be. The thinner jeans, the larger jeans, the equipment from the hobby you no longer pursue. Letting go can feel like admitting that version of yourself is gone. That's a real kind of grief. But a home crowded with former versions of you leaves less room for the person you are becoming. So you understand the idea. It's about meaning, memory, and identity. Problem solved, right? Not quite. Take each item in your hands and ask two questions. Does this bring something positive into my life? And does this belong to the person I'm becoming? Not the person you were, not the person you thought you had to be, the person you're becoming. When the answer is no, say, thank you for what you were, and let it go. That small ritual transforms letting go into completion. Tonight, find one thing you've kept out of guilt that you'll never use. Hold it, thank it, release it, then notice what remains. The memory stays even when the object leaves. That's the proof, and the proof that frees the rest. Decide to buy a certain car and suddenly it's everywhere. Every intersection, every parking lot, 3 on the same street. The world didn't change. You did. You told your brain to notice it, and it started pulling that car out of the blur. Your clutter is hiding behind the exact same trick. Once you flip it, you'll start seeing your home differently. The trick your stuff is playing is simple. Clutter hides by scattering. Your shirts aren't all in one place. They're in the closet, the dresser, the laundry basket, the chair, the spare room, and the bag you never unpacked. 3 shirts on a chair don't seem like much, but the 40 you actually own never appear together in your mind because you only ever see them a few at a time. This is why tidying room by room often falls short. You straighten the few items here and the few items there, but you're never forced to confront the total volume. You can spend days cleaning without ever having the thought that changes everything. I own far more than I need. There's one powerful way to break the illusion. Gather. Pick one category, shirts for example, and collect every single one into one pile. Check the closet, dresser, laundry, chair, storage bins, and anywhere else they hide. Then stand back and look. The pile is almost always larger than the picture in your head. What seemed manageable when scattered across the house suddenly becomes impossible to ignore when gathered together. That's when your trained eye switches on. And here's the surprising part. The pile argues for you. You don't have to convince yourself to let things go. 40 shirts stacked in front of you make their own case. The thought often arrives naturally, I do not need all of this. So you gather one category, you're shocked by the result, and the lesson sticks, right? Not entirely. your brain can go blind to clutter again, which means your eyes need occasional retraining. One simple habit helps. Take photos of your rooms and study them later. A photograph creates enough distance that your brain stops skipping over familiar objects. It's like an eye exam for your home, catching clutter while it's still small. Tonight, choose one category you suspect has quietly multiplied. Mugs, pens, tote bags, anything. Gather every single one into one place and look at the real total. The scattering has been hiding the truth for years. Now you can finally see it. Stop trying to clean your entire house. That marathon cleaning session may be the very reason your home keeps falling back into chaos. Think about the cycle. An exhausting Saturday of non-stop effort, burned out by midday, finished long before the work is. 2 weeks later, the mess is back and you are convinced you are just not built for this. You are. The problem is not you. The problem is the strategy. The reason all-day cleaning sessions fail is simple. They rely on intensity, and intensity does not last. You can push through a massive effort once in a while, but between those bursts, life takes over and the clutter returns. What works is not more force. It is something much smaller, an action so easy, you can repeat it even on a tired Tuesday. So shrink the task until refusing it feels ridiculous. Not clean the kitchen, clean the sink, not declutter the bedroom, spend 2 minutes putting things away. The hardest part of any task is usually starting, so make the starting point tiny. Tonight's assignment is simple. Empty the sink, scrub it, and dry it until it shines. Once you've started, you often keep going. You tell yourself you will only clean the sink, then you notice the counter beside it. A clean sink makes nearby clutter stand out. Before long, you have wiped the counter too. Order spreads outward from one clean point, like light from a match. You do not need enough motivation for the whole house. You only need enough to begin. And when a task still feels overwhelming, put a limit on it. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Work until it rings. Then stop if you want to. Knowing you are allowed to quit makes starting far easier. So you clean the sink for a few nights. The counter follows. Small wins begin stacking. Almost. Here is where many people give up. For a while, the results do not seem dramatic. You will show up every day and wonder whether it is working. A voice may tell you to stop because nothing is changing. Do not listen. The progress is building underneath the surface. Tiny actions compound. Eventually, you cross a threshold where the change becomes visible all at once. The people who succeed are not the ones who do the most in a day. They are the ones who keep showing up during the flat stretch before the payoff arrives. Tonight, before bed, shine your sink until it gleams. Tomorrow, look at it again. One clean, bright spot in the middle of everything else. Proof that you can do this. Keep showing up. The rest grows from there. Storage bins you bought didn't really solve the problem. They just hid it in nicer containers and added one more thing to maintain. The organizing industry often sells a comforting promise, but it misses the real issue. If you've been stuck for years, it may be because you've been solving the wrong problem. Here's what the bin aisle won't tell you. You cannot organize your way out of owning too much. Organizing rearranges. It places excess items into labeled containers, but the items are still there, still taking up space, attention, and energy. The challenge isn't usually disorder, it's volume, and when there's too much, the answer isn't better organization, it's less. Now, picture what you actually want, not shelves filled with perfectly labeled bins. A room that feels open, calm, easy to move through. A home where the things you keep are things you truly value. Empty space isn't wasted space. It's room to think, room to breathe, room to set down both your belongings and your mental load. A clear surface isn't missing something, it's offering something. And here's why filling every space never works for long. Many purchases aren't really about the object itself. They're about the feeling attached to it, the book you hope to read, the equipment that represents the person you want to become, the item that promises to close a gap inside you. But the excitement fades and another purchase appears to take its place. That's the treadmill. and you can step off whenever you're ready. So start subtracting, set a goal. Maybe it's 1 bag, maybe it's 50 items. Then ask 4 questions. Have I used this in the last year? Would I buy it again today? Do I already own a duplicate? Could I keep this digitally instead? Let the questions make the decision. Most importantly, subtract before you organise. Otherwise, you'll spend time neatly storing things that never needed to stay. So you fill a bag and create a little extra room. Is that all there is to it? Not quite. Sit in the space afterward and notice what you've gained. Not just floor space, but time you won't spend cleaning around those items. Attention you won't spend managing them. Money you won't spend replacing, storing, or maintaining them. And perhaps most valuable of all, a sense of calm. You were never lacking the things you kept buying. You were lacking the peace of enough. Tonight, grab a bag and fill it. No organising, no sorting into bins, just subtracting. Notice what remains behind isn't loss. It's like you don't have a cleaning problem, you have an identity problem. Every time you say, I'm just a messy person, you decide the outcome before you've even started. When something feels like part of who you are, changing it becomes much harder. But that label isn't a fact. It's a story, and stories can change. Here's how change actually works. Every small action is a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. Shine the sink and you've cast a vote. Clear a counter and you've cast another. One action doesn't transform you overnight, but repeated actions add up. Eventually, the evidence becomes stronger than the old label. You don't think your way into a new identity, you act your way into one, and let go of the idea that organised people simply have more willpower. They don't. Willpower fades. Everyone gets tired. Everyone has long days. What keeps a home in order isn't endless discipline, it's routine. The people who maintain order usually rely on a handful of automatic actions connected to parts of their day. They tidy the kitchen before bed the same way they brush their teeth. They don't negotiate with themselves. The habit simply runs. So build 2 small routines, one for the morning, one for the evening. Maybe the morning routine is making the bed, clearing breakfast dishes and straightening one surface. Maybe the evening routine is cleaning the sink, clearing counters and putting a few stray items back where they belong. Make it even easier by attaching each routine to something you already do. After the coffee starts brewing, run the morning routine. Before turning off the kitchen light, run the evening routine. And design your environment to help you. Put a basket where clutter usually lands. Keep cleaning supplies where they're needed. Make the tidy action the easy action, so you create the routines and start following them. Problem solved? Not quite. There's one rule that protects everything when life inevitably gets in the way. One day you'll be exhausted. You'll skip the routine, and a familiar voice may appear. See, you never stick with anything, ignore it. Missing once means very little. The rule is simple, never miss twice. 1 missed day is an event. 2 missed days can become a pattern, so if you skip today, show up tomorrow. No guilt, no punishment, just return. Tonight, write a simple 5-step evening routine on a card and place it where you'll see it. Then run it once. That old label was never who you were. It was only a record of old votes. Start casting new ones. Right now, your home is shaping the person you're becoming. Not just how your space looks, but how you feel, how clearly you think, and how much energy you bring into each day. The environment around you influences you far more than most people realize. Think about the difference between walking into a cluttered room and walking into a calm, open space. One tends to create tension, distraction, and mental noise. The other creates breathing room. The space itself is affecting you, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. That's why clearing a surface is never just about the surface. Every clean counter, clear table, and organised corner changes the signals your brain receives throughout the day. A calm environment quietly encourages calm thinking. An orderly environment supports focus and momentum. Over time, your surroundings influence your mood. Your mood influences your days, and your days influence your life. That's why this has never really been about cleaning. If you want to experience the difference for yourself, try a simple 1-hour reset. Pick one room and set a timer for 60 minutes. First, see it. Walk through the room as though you've never seen it before. Take a photo. Notice what your eyes have stopped registering. Second, decide it. Sort the visible clutter into 5 categories: trash, dishes, laundry, items with a home, and items without one. Third, subtract it. Fill one bag with things you no longer need, use, or would choose again today. Fourth, reset it. Spend 15 focused minutes making the room functional, not perfect. Fifth, home it. Give every remaining item a designated place. Objects without a home often become tomorrow's clutter. Objects with a home are much easier to put away. So you complete the hour, the room looks better, and you're done? Not exactly, because what changed wasn't just the room. You changed the way you look at it. You stopped walking past things without noticing them. You stopped postponing decisions. You stopped hiding excess and started reducing it. You created places for the things that remain. That's not a cleaning session, that's a new skill. This week, choose one room and run the 5 steps. See it, decide it, subtract it, reset it, home it. Then stand in the doorway and look. You were never lazy. You were never incapable. You simply couldn't see what was happening. Now you can. This is your home, and you're the person who takes care of it.